Manuel Prieto in the midfield, pressing up as well to try to get that takeaway.
They're going to be aggressive. They just have to pick the right times to do that. Marshall is so clinical, especially in their defending half of the field. They move the ball so quickly. It is tough.
See here, Amaro patiently waiting. Morris Duggan. Back to Amaro. Amaro will go to Perota. More pressing from Georgia Southern. Prieto couldn't get there in time. Matthew Bell across midfield, leading up to Goddard. Goddard in the attacking third will go central. Akiyoshi towards the middle, shot blocked off of Pama. Rotating far side now. Alexander Sterngard. And what a save by Martinez again. Already feeling the pressure early in the first half.
The patience is paying off for the Thundering Herd at the moment. I mean, the slow approach, but they're moving the ball so well within their own midfield. Matthew Bell, you see on the far post, Martinez able to scoop that ball up. But right now, everything is being run through Akiyoshi. I mean, they are playing through him in the central part of the field, and he's delivering some really nice balls.
Foul inside center circle as Alex Smith goes down. Possession, Georgia Southern. Arnell Selman, our head referee, Donis Intro, and Brittany Kuhn, our assistant refs.
Here's somebody I think you should look out for. Alex Smith for Georgia Southern. You want to talk about a workhorse? He is exactly that. High intensity, high energy guy that's going to be running all around the field. And I think he has a chance to put a big imprint on this game.
Kean Dean trying to force a turnover for the Eagles. Georgia Southern has possession. So you haven't really seen this in the opening minutes. It's been mainly controlled by Marshall. Trying to regain possession. Aomesh. Bell in the middle. One man to beat. Through pass. Doesn't get through. Alistair Danjan clears it out of bounds.
Danjan, he's got to recognize that he has Martinez behind him running straight for that ball. Martinez let him know right after, hey, I'm running to that. You got to let it be.
Working again for the Thundering Herd. All the way on the near side for Joao Roberto. Advancing up. Here's Bell inside the box. Bell slides it over. Advancing up. Bell blocked by Martinez. Still inside the box. And now a whistle. We're going the other way. This Eagles defensive stand has been something to watch to open up this half.
Quite frankly, it's been all on the shoulders of Nate Martinez. The defense is getting picked apart inside the 18. They have to find a way to stop Marshall from entering into the box so easily. But Martinez, that's why we highlighted him in the open of this broadcast.
Martinez already being tested. Marshall 3 shots, 2 shots on goal in the first. Martinez already with 2 saves. We talked about the save percentage of Gabriel Perota, but Nate Martinez, he's only given up 6 goals, 28 saves entering tonight, 82% save percentage, top 5 in the Sun Belt.
He's a big reason why Georgia Southern has been within 1 score of every loss this season.
Manuel Prieto now on the cross, missing the header. You see there the save percentages for both Martinez and Parada, 2 of the top 3 in the Sun Belt. Marshall clears it out of danger. Eagles recover. The engine will reset at midfield.
First real look for the Eagles right there. Wilson was far side post, just couldn't get his head on it.
Prieto recovers. Send it back to Smith. Correction, that's Kevin Pierre, one of the two midfielders in Central, working alongside Prieto. There's Alex Smith. Couldn't get that pass. Prieto recovers in the attacking third. Now in the box for the Eagles. Prieto tried to go wide in the box. Nick Gettridge making his first appearance this season. Recovers it for the Eagles. And it's sent out of play. Possession, Thundering Herd.
If Prieto makes that pass just a half second earlier, he has Gettridge completely unmarked on the other side of the field. That would have been a prime opportunity.
The correction would be possession Eagles. Throw in by Kean Dean. Here's Smith working near side, one-on-one. Gets it right back. Marshall got a foot on it. This is a chance for the Eagles to kind of settle things and try to operate offensively, trying to get their first real chance. As you mentioned, David, the cross by Prieto just off on the what would have been the first shot for the Eagles tonight. Zachary Martin has it inside the 18. Thundering Herd trying to clear it still. It's still in play. Now on the far side wing. Prieto. Good takeaway. Nice challenge there by the Herd. Here comes the counterattack. They can find some opening. They're going back to the back line again. And when these moments happen, David, we talked about the patience of Marshall. Once they get that takeaway, they're not going to really go for a counter.
No. I mean, that is exactly why they're playing so slow right now. Now, as this game progresses, I expect Marshall to take their chances at different points within this match to try and go a little bit faster. But for the most part, you're right. They're going to take the slow approach, continue to build up the pitch very slow, and use the wide areas of the field to their advantage.
15 minutes in, what's the biggest thing you've seen here between these two sides?
Nate Martinez has not missed a beat. You know, compared to West Virginia, he's playing just as good. Marshall is doing exactly what we expected. Very patient, not rushing things. But I also think Georgia Southern has moved up the pitch better than I expected, to be honest, to start this game.
Good chance for Bell again. On the outside, the cross. And blocked out of play. Roberto on the cross to send that in.
Really good job by Danjan. Put that right foot out in front, avoiding the cross into the box. Watch this again. Smith couldn't get to it, but Danjan, right place, right time. You have a free runner inside the box. Looked like that was Rye Pinto.
First corner kick for the Herd would be Alex Jerngard. He normally takes the corners for the Herd this season. Sophomore, and that corner, went a little bit high. But the Herd still have it, headed around inside the 18, headed out by Georgia Southern. Service back into the box. Martin is there to recover it for Georgia Southern, but it's blocked out of bounds. Good last-second effort there. It's Brian Amaro.
Martin just trying to play this one up. That's really good hustle and effort. Keep Georgia Southern from advancing that.
Smith throws it in. In open space, and Marshall regains possession. Here's Adam Aomesh. Last week's Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week. In 4 of the 5 weeks where there has been a Sun Belt Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week nominated, 4 of the 5 offensively have gone to the Herd.
I mean, they have so many good players. We haven't even talked about Alvaro Garcia Pascal. Leads the Sun Belt in shots with 27.
Here you see Marshall working towards the back line again. Duggan sliding it over. Now the buildup begins. Bell on the outside to Roberto. Wow, Roberto back to Bell. Bell fires, and it just goes left. Now you're starting to see the Herd pick their spots and attack.
Bell, he is so deadly in one-on-one situations, makes a nice move That actually deflected off of Zachary Martin. Good job just to turn around, keep the hands away. That was a really nice shot. And those are the kind of plays. I mean, the margin's slim.
Now a corner kick from the near side for the Herd, and that just goes. On the right side of the post outside. Two chances for Marshall and couldn't come up with anything.
If I'm the Eagles, this is too close for comfort. I mean, they're living inside the box. A couple of really nice chances. Have not been able to get it behind the net yet. But you give Marshall enough time and enough opportunities, they're going to score a goal within a matter of minutes.
The Eagles have yet to take a shot here in the first half. Is this the moment where they flip the switch, David?
Yeah, they're going to have to find some way to muster up an attack and force Marshall to be on the defensive end of things. But again, you cannot let them live in the attacking third.
That ball ricocheted all the way back to the Eagles' side. Good job by Alistair Danjan to send it out of bounds. But it does give Marshall good field positioning here. So after those two Herd corner kicks, it's 4 total shots in the first half, 2 on goal. 20 minutes have gone by in the first half. Georgia Southern against number 1 Marshall. Danny Wall, David Hovey, and Leanna Gay on hand on this Sunday night. I love it when the month turns from September to October, David, because now the weather gets a lot cooler and it makes for some really good playing conditions on the pitch.
Man, I stepped outside today. I felt the wind just breeze right in my face, and I literally said, this is peak weather. You don't get better than this.
Here's a chance for the Herd. On the cross, headed away by Smith out of bounds. You see, I like the weather change as well, but because it was the first of the month, I woke up to email saying rent was due. So I can only enjoy the weather for a brief moment before them bills. They're never late.
No. They're never late, and they're never sent to you at a good time. Ever.
This is a good time here for Marshall. Another corner kick. This will be their third. They'll play it short. Aomesh will send it out. Here's a shot inside, deflected by the Eagles. Georgia Southern trying to clear it, and they do. Back across midfield, and Theo Godair, will now slide it over to Duggan. Amaro. Duggan. All the way on the far side wing. No foul. Still working on the far side. Looking for an angle to cross. Sends it out. Akiyoshi. Out of bounds.
Nice defense by Georgia Southern. Not being fooled by some of the trickery Marshall tries to throw at you, especially on the sides.
Go Squires looks on for the Eagles. This has to be the moment where they can attack. Possession battle has been won by the Herd throughout the first. Amaro trying to get past Ty Wilson. Bill the bell. Bell, good deflection there. And the Eagles, foul going to be called.
Kean Dean. It's Dean who was called for the foul. A bang-bang play. And it looks like he gets ball first. Dean obviously not happy about it.
Taking down Rye Pinto. A free kick for the Herd. Looks like Sterngard could take this one again. He's taking the corner kicks. Will he take the free kicks as well? Instead, it'll be his teammate that sends it over the crossbar. Another long shot by the Herd.
A little bit off the mark, but I like that. Letting Morris Duggan take the free kick with the left foot. Not a horrible shot. Just got to put that down a little bit. I think with 20 minutes left in this first half, Georgia Southern needs some type of threat, and they're attacking third. Put a shot up. I mean, maybe it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, 20, 30 yards out, but try and find a way to put at least some pressure on Perota.
At least before the first half comes to a close. They've yet to take a shot still. The only real chance we saw was Manuel Prieto's cross.
The game is being won by Marshall in the midfield. Guys like Matthew Bell, they're so quick whenever the ball is on him. He has such a quick hitch whenever he receives the passes. Georgia Southern's going to have to play a little bit more aggressive. In the midfield specifically, they're going to have to step to the ball a little bit quicker.
By Alex Smith, and that's why the Eagles went to a 4-4-2 in this matchup and try to match up with the lineup of Marshall in this game. Nice try by Manuel Prieto to keep that ball inside play. He's tiptoeing on the outside.
Now, as much as I say that Georgia Southern needs to do this, do that, I guarantee you they'll be fine with going into the locker room tied up at 0.
Absolutely.
I mean,
if anything, you can say Georgia Southern's played a good defensive first half because Marshall's taken 6 shots, 2 on goal. But Nate Martinez has been ready. There's been great blocks inside the box. Okioshi.
It's in these spaces, though, right here.
This is where Marshall's been able to break through and get into the final third. Roberto back to Okioshi. The triangle passing. Godar deflected out of bounds by A.J. Pama. More on Georgia Southern's unique draws throughout the season. 1, 3, and 5. Our only Anna Gay has more.
Danny, the Eagles have tied in their last 4 matchups against Coastal Carolina, Mercer, West Virginia, and UAB. In their matchup against West Virginia, the Eagles won its second ever tie against a ranked program. The Eagles are currently riding a 4-match draw streak, and they're hoping to break that streak with a win today.
On the corner, can the Eagles clear it? It'll go out of bounds. Thank you, Lee, for the hit. Talking about Georgia Southern and the way they've been able to tie games in their last 4 matches. Marshall still working and they're attacking third. Godar. Recovered by the Herd again. Amaro to the outside. Found Ty Pinto, the right back. Aomesh. High cross. Header, and it's saved by Martinez. Matthew Bell continuing to be aggressive. He has now 4 of the Marshall's 7 shots in the first.
He's a playmaker. He causes problems for the opposite team. Marshall in the half spaces is where I think they've done the best job. I mean, they're playing at an elite level. That's because of guys like Matthew Bell.
Well, here's Bell again. Got a burst of speed near the arc. Now sends it back. Rotating on the far side for the Herd. Sterngard. Okioshi. Here's a shot right to Martinez. Second chance, no. Cleared away by the Eagles.
Wow.
More pressure from the Herd as we're inching closer and closer to the final 15 minutes of the first half.
Blitzing shot. Good job by Martinez. Doesn't try to catch it. Just puts the ball back out in front.
At the wing. Working inside the box. And a great save there by the Eagles. The Herd still working. Another shot blocked. This time, Ao Mesh on the attack.
That was a goal. If Danjan does not get his foot out in front, Marshall's up 1-0.
Okiyoshi. To Amaro. Godar. Ao Mesh. Moving central. Service in the box, headed away by the Eagles. Morrow surveys the field again. Okiyoshi to Bell up top. Bell, nowhere to go. The Eagles' defense has been something. How can they create a counterattack?
Play a little bit faster. Right now, they're committing everybody into their own 18. It's like when you're playing FIFA and you go ultra defensive. I mean, they're sending everybody into their own box. It's hard for them to create.
I believe it's called EAFC now. As FIFA,
Excuse me.
The name FIFA
You're
is
right.
officially
It
over.
It is.
You played the new EAFC game yet?
No, I want to though. I was a big FIFA guy, so
Got it Thursday night. Plays pretty well. We're inside the final 15 minutes of the first half. Still scoreless here at Eagle Field in Statesboro, Georgia. Georgia Southern hosting a number 1 ranked team for the first time in program history, but this is the third matchup in program history against the number 1 ranked opponent. The Eagles 0-2 in that category. Danjan, good job clearing that ball out of play. Marshall still working. Sliding over to Godar. Ao Mesh trying to turn the corner. Good job defensively by Alex Smith, but it seems that Ao Mesh frustrated, thinking there should be a foul, and his frustrations are getting the best of him. So this is going to be a stern warning, by the official. That's why he stopped play. So Arnell Selman telling him, hey, I hear you, I see what's going on, but let me make the calls.
Yeah, Aomesh had some words for Selman afterwards, and that's when he said, hey, hold up, we're going to stop this. And good job by the referee.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do that before things can get out of hand. Sometimes you let a player talk a little bit too much, and next thing you know, things get a little out of control.
Well, he's trying to calm things down before the second half.
Yeah.
Another corner kick by the Herd, just missing. Shot goes left.
Ooh. You hold your breath in moments like that if you're a Georgia Southern fan, because there's not much you can do if you're Nate Martinez. There's really not much you can do as a back line. That's just a good shot, volley out of the air, just missing.
That is the 8th shot taken by Marshall in the half.
And that's a freshman, Rai Pinto, for Marshall, somebody stepping into the club, playing really well, won a U19 national championship out in Portugal.
The one unique thing about the back line, because Pinto playing the right back,
Right.
3 of the 4 players that start in the back line are new to the team along with Gabriel Perota.
They don't play like it.
Yeah, look at this shot comparison. 8 for the Herd, none for the Eagles. Similar to how Georgia Southern played against number 2 ranked West Virginia. Didn't get any shots off in the first half, but faced a lot of pressure. Speaking of pressure, Prieto pressing up front. That ball stays in bounds. Godar trying to get out of harm's way. Now taken away by the Eagles. Pama, is it a shot for Georgia Southern? Yes! Will Georgia Southern Jack Ireland give the Eagles the lead on their first shot of the game?
You mess around a little too much and you're going to find out. Georgia Southern pressed. This was a great job and a beautiful shot, but Okiyashi set that up. Beautiful job by the aggression from the Georgia Southern attacking half, and then it set up Palmer for a beautiful strike.
Jack Ireland just checked in the game and was ready to strike.
Rather, Ireland that was.
Yeah.
Man.
All it takes is one. They let Marshall take 8 shots. Georgia Southern went with a high press, pinned them in a corner. Prieto finding Ireland, and it's 1-0 Eagles. Ireland, his second goal of the year.
That's the chess match. We saw Georgia Southern earlier in the half. They were okay with playing slow with Marshall. They were okay with playing the patient game, but Lee Squires deciding to turn up the heat and apply the pressure that time, and it worked out beautifully.
The pressure is on the Herd. Can they find the equalizer before halftime? They have controlled the possession battle. Now in the attacking third. On the cross, headed away by the Eagles. Okiyoshi trying to maintain possession, taken away by Ireland. Eagles on the counterattack. This is Alex Smith. Burst of speed across midfield. The Eagles want to double this lead, and it's deflected out of bounds by the Herd.
You put a goal on the number 1 team in the nation, that's only going to give you more confidence and energy. This Georgia Southern team is going to be flying around the pitch. I mean, wow. This game was dominated.
What a turn
by
of
Marshall.
events. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the possession, talk about playing well in half spaces. It was all the Thundering Herd. But just like that, as you mentioned, you snap your fingers, things fall in your direction. Now you're up.
Throw in by Nick Gettridge, sent out of bounds by the Herd. Corner kick coming up from the Eagles. The words of Lil John, snap your fingers, and the Eagles did their step. A 1-0 lead here off the foot of Jack Ireland.
Jack Ireland, he is an impressive player. He's somebody, a younger player too. I mean, only a sophomore, played in 12 matches last season, starting in 5 of those. He had an assist, but this year he has taken an elevated role. Somebody Lee Squires can turn to in pivotal opportunities and situations.
Packed crowd here at Eagle Field. Corner kick from Prieto. Off the head, Ireland can't get there. And a foul from Georgia Southern. It'll be a goal kick for the Herd.
It was a handball on Ireland as that ball is headed back into play.
Right behind the goalpost, the Georgia Southern women's soccer team supporting the men. We saw on the other side of the pitch, Eagles women's head coach Chris Adams enjoying this matchup as well. A lot of promotion going into this game this week. Even Eagles football head coach Clay Helton advising the fans to show up and show it out like they did last night in Paulson Stadium, setting a new record crowd in their 38-28 win over Coastal Carolina.
Something is brewing in Statesboro. The women's soccer team, they've been dominant. Really good. I mean, won the regular season title a year ago. And now with Lee Squires under the helm for Georgia Southern and this men's soccer program, things have already turned around a lot.
We didn't even talk about this. That was the 4th goal allowed this season by the Herd.
Yeah.
We talked about the high save percentage of goalkeeper Gabriel Perota, 89% entering this match. But now Marshall trying to find one more chance here. So we're under 9 minutes to play in the first. It'll be a free kick taken by Adame Omesh. Free kick from this distance, Aomesh could put it in himself.
You have to be really careful. Nate Martinez has to be ready.
Service in the box. Header, Martinez saves. Second chance, no. Cleared away by the Eagles, but there's a foul, and there's going to be a penalty.
Great job by Martinez on that free kick. A beautiful save, but Georgia Southern fouling in the box. That's worst case scenario, and that's actually something Lee Squires said to us before the match was we cannot allow the ticky-tack plays like a penalty kick, like a free kick, and here you go.
It'll be at Mesh to take this PK. 4 goals on the season. Can he make it 5 and tie this matchup in the first? Mesh ties it! Finds the back left corner. And just like that, Marshall with the response.
The number 1 team is not going to go to sleep after Georgia Southern scores a goal. If anything, they're going to play a lot harder and a lot faster. Martinez dove the right way, but AMS just drilled this one on the left-hand side. He had a chance. I mean, this one was played more towards the middle than towards the post. If Martinez didn't keep that right hand down on the ground, he might have blocked that.
This match has picked up in the last 10-ish minutes. It was Georgia Southern scoring the opening goal. And now Marshall getting their first penalty kick on the season. Adam Mesh, the offensive player of the week in the Sun Belt Conference, leveling this game at 1.
What a response from the Thundering Herd.
The Eagles threw out the first punch, and Marshall punched back. I mean, Marshall was already throwing some jabs here and there. We're talking the boxing analogy of Floyd Mayweather. Marshall now 9 shots, 4 shots on goal. They were throwing blows to the Eagles in the first half, but it was the knockout punch by the Eagles and Jack Ireland to score first. But it's all about how you respond to getting hit, and Marshall leveling it with the PK by Mesh, looking for more here in the attacking third. Flipped into the box off the knee, and Martinez makes the great save.
Marshall likes the matchups on the right-hand side of the pitch. That's far side. They're playing a lot of lofty balls in the 18, letting those midfielders run to it. It hasn't been the Matthew Bell on the right side. He's really played central for most of this match.
Georgia Southern, Eddie Vincent in for the first time. Foul off the Herd. Under 7 minutes to go in the first. There's still time for Georgia Southern taking another shot here.
Absolutely, but you have to be careful. Their slower pace of play at times, they're not afraid, to flip the switch in a heartbeat.
There will be a free kick off the foul from Taimu Okiyoshi. Serves in the box by A.J. Pama. Headed out of the 18. Prieto tries to recover. Zachary Martin couldn't get it. Smith with no luck. Mentioned a counter for Marshall, but once again, as soon as they start, they slow things down. Once the Eagles get out in front, then they build up in the back again. Long pass down, and Martinez gets a hand on it. How about Martinez with these blocks and these saves?
What I really like is he's not afraid to get off his line. Sometimes keepers will stay tucked to their line, especially balls placed like that when maybe you have 3 defenders to 1 attacker. You have the numbers, but Martinez steps up. And it's the confidence. It's the things you can't really teach. And especially just a sophomore, Martinez is a guy that you trust within the box.
The Eagles with possession again. Working in the midfield. Herd pressing. Still jockeying for position. Now the Herd have it. Under 5 minutes to play in the first. Going near side. Mesh is onside, now working one-on-one past Smith, and Alex Smith, great defense on the wing. Possession will stay with the Herd.
The one-on-one matchups are something to keep your eye on, especially in the second half. But Alex Smith and AMS, that's going to be a fun one throughout this match. Two very talented players. Smith, he's hard to beat because even when you do get past him, he has the speed, he has the strength to recover.
This will be the sixth corner kick of the first half. That doesn't tell you how aggressive the Herd have been in the final third. Plenty of chances. That one sails far away. Bicycle kick attempt and a whistle. The possession Eagles.
Tried to get a Sports Center top 10 moment. I have not seen a bicycle kick in a while, it feels like.
It's a nice attempt, though. When you don't connect, it's the landing. Worry about.
Yeah. Even when you do connect.
Substitutions here late. Marshall Matthew Bell will come out. It'll be Sordo that checks in. Also Marco Silva in the match too.
These are the moments, if I'm Georgia Southern in particular, I'm being very careful. Understanding Marshall going to try and steal one going into halftime, and you're defending third. Whatever you do, protect the ball and keep it from the middle.
Jacob Sandin coming in for the Eagles in place of Manuel Prieto. Also Mauro Gutierrez Solison to take over in the front.
Gutierrez Solis coming off the bench, graduate student. He had a goal last season, also started in 12 games. I mean, a lot of experience. I think he's somebody that can provide a punch, especially in the attacking end, for the Eagles as this game progresses.
Good clearance by Georgia Southern, sending out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Herd. So Amen Sordo, who checked in moments ago for the Herd. Here's Aomesh. Fighting still with it, under 2 minutes to play. Aomesh goes to the outside. Sordo in the wing. Slides it up. Godard out of bounds. And it will be possession Eagles.
This has been an entertaining first half.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, you got your money's worth for sure. Georgia Southern and Marshall both battling it out. It's been fun to watch. I mean, the fight in the Eagles and just the clinical approach that Marshall takes to the pitch.
Been 4 or 5 rounds deep so far. And the Eagles being able to take a round, scoring the first goal as we enter our final minute of the half.
You know what this is like? This is like Rocky Balboa fighting in Apollo Creed. That underdog mentality in Rocky, my favorite boxer by far. But, and he's a fictional character, I am aware.
On the cross, no luck there by Marshall. But, I mean, just seeing the response there, because the Eagles scored first in the 32nd. It barely took 5 minutes for Marshall to level the match. Trying to take the lead, shot blocked, running shot, gets caught in the mix, off the side post, and the Herd. No, it's a handball on the Herd, and the Eagles got away with one.
Yes, they did. I thought the call was offsides initially.
But nonetheless, it'll keep our game tied at 1.
What did I say, Danny? Marshall's going to try and steal one before this half ends, and they almost stole one.
The Herd were close.
There's the shot. Now it ricochets, and he's offsides. Yeah, the call is that he was offsides.
Well, that will take us to halftime, and we are tied at 1. Georgia Southern drew first blood against the number 1 ranked Marshall Thundering Herd with a open goal scored by Jack Ireland as soon as he came in the match. But 5 minutes later, a penalty kick in the box. Adam Ayonesh scores his 5th goal of the season and levels this match at 1. Our score at the half, Georgia Southern and Marshall tied at 1 in Sun Belt Conference play. What a first half.
I mean, I already said it, but it has been so entertaining. What a thrill. Marshall, really good job. I mean, they almost got that goal if it wasn't for the offsides call. But Georgia Southern, again, I'll say it over and over, the fight that they have shown in the first 45 minutes. Now, obviously, both sides are going to make some adjustments, so we'll see how the second half plays out. But I think we can have ourselves a good one, Danny.
The Ireland goal was the 4th goal that Marshall gave up this season. So, Coach Lee Squires.
Coach Squires, what a notable defensive performance in that first half. And you got out first and scored that first goal. What can you say about your team's resilience in that first half?
I think we actually need to be better. I think we've been more resilient in other games that we've played. Obviously, they're a very, very good team and they're going to keep a lot of the ball, but we caused our own issue. You know, we gave a penalty away when we were in a good position. We scored with our only shot on goal. We've caused them a couple of problems going the other way. And one thing we said before the game, we can't gift them anything. They're going to have chances on their own merit with their own play. We can't give them one with a silly. So anything can happen the longer the game goes on.
Thanks, Coach. Danny?
Thanks, Lee. It is tied at 1 at halftime between Marshall and Georgia Southern. We'll talk first half stats and more after the break. You're watching Sun Belt Conference Soccer on ESPN+.
We've met before. Are you looking for Regan? Possession. It's happening to both girls. Come back to us. They're two heartbeats. They're beating in sync.
One girl lives, one girl dies.
Rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Are you ready for Papa John's new fan-inspired pizza? We started with our garlic epic stuffed crust with everyone's favorite garlic flavor.
In it, on it, with it, in it, on it.
And then you all asked for more heat. So we added red pepper flakes and our spicy garlic sauce for even more fire. Papa John's new garlic epic stuffed crust pizza, now available in spicy garlic. Get a one-topping pizza now for $13.99 at Papa John's.
Hey, is that the new iPhone?
do whatever you can to get that ball. It's clearly a foul. He obviously trips up the Marshall player.
So possession Hearn entering the attacking third again. Ao Mesh moving central. Ao Mesh, the pass up inside the box. Bell has it at the end line, deflected out of bounds by the Eagles. Toby Neville, corner kick coming up for the Herd.
All eyes have to be on Bell. As soon as you cross that midline and you're approaching the 18, Marshall wants to get the ball to the feet of Matthew Bell. He is the best attacker on this pitch right now. He could be the best attacker in all the Sun Belt. That's how good he is, and they want to feed him.
Look at this. It's going to be Ao Mesh taking the corner kick with Alexander Sterngard all in the first half off the header. Still in play. Back to Ao Mesh on the near side wing. Ao Mesh, service in the box. Header, goal! Marshall comes out and takes the lead, 2-1. Pablo Simon.
Good ball in the box, and this one is on Martinez. He gets off his line completely, takes a bad angle, quite frankly. You see how far up he is. That's an easy one for Simon. Took a shot there at the post as well.
At the farthest point. And now Simon being checked out by his teammate and the official. Pablo Simon scoring his third goal of the season. Off his more of his left shoulder on that service in the box. And we also saw how for Georgia Southern, Nate Martinez coming down after trying to block that shot, that he may have collided with the side post. And it seems like that for Marshall, Simon may have gotten hit in the face there on that chance.
You see the towel hold to the nose or the mouth of Simon.
He didn't know that something was wrong until after he scored the goal during the celebration. So you talk about bang plays, David. This is where you see where Simon notices that something was wrong, notices that his nose was bleeding, and then you see Martinez there on the side. This is what happened. You see the celebration there by Simon, and it was after that when he noticed that his nose was bleeding. So play resumes. It is 2-1 Thundering Herd. The number one team has taken the lead.
I want to touch on that goal real quick. Everybody from Georgia Southern had their hand up. They were saying that it was offsides from Marshall. It was just a perfectly timed run from Pablo Simon on the far post. And again, for Martinez, he hasn't made a mistake yet, but that one, you step up off your line that high, Marshall made him pay. That ball was placed perfectly on the edge right by the far post.
Eagles looking for an answer. Missed header by Ireland, still in the box. Prieto at the arc. Inside the box. No foul. Well, there is a foul. Well, actually, I stand corrected. I don't think a foul was called there. And the Eagle fans upset with the no call.
Looked like the break Georgia Southern was going to get. Ireland, it seemed that he tripped. If we could get that rolled back a little bit earlier, Ireland, he receives the pass. Pass moves to his left.
Well, there you see
That's a good no call.
The hands come up.
That's a good no call. That's a really good no call by the referees. It's tough.
That is tough.
It's so tough. To make those calls in the box.
Well, after that, Marshall trying to advance through again. Headed away by Key and Dean. Still in play. Ayomesh sends it back to Amaro. We're just 5 minutes in to the second half, so Marshall knew they weren't going to let that first goal by the Eagles hurt them at all. They stayed the course, and you see the difference of attack from the Herd as well, resulting in that second goal here in the half. And here's another unique thing, David. While that looked like the ball is off the shoulder, hang on, Bell advancing past the end line in the 6, cleared away by the Eagles.
That was All-Star Danjan, center back.
So since the back row for Marshall, what I was going to say is what's interesting, David, that even though it looked like on the replay that Pablo Simon got his left shoulder to get it in for a goal, there is a case that it could have been a goal for Adam Ayomesh off that corner.
Very true. Ayomesh had a chance.
It was the way that ball was curving in the 6 that it could have been just a goal by Ayomesh, but it looked like there was a touch by Simon there as well. But nonetheless, Marshall a 2-1 lead.
Well, remember what I said. Back in the first half, what Martinez did really well was he was stepping off his line at the right moments and being aggressive. But that was the one time it came back to bite him. He was a little too far up. And Marshall is going to thread the needle in their own in the attacking 18.
Right on cue, threading the needle to get that ball to the box. Good job clearing it for the Eagles. All the way back. Perota. Almost taken away by Ireland. Morrow near side. Across midfield. Good defense there by Alex Smith. Morrow now advancing forward. The near side. Good job defensively by the Eagles. And right to Jack Ireland for a counter. Ireland going for it all. He passes to the side. A shot that just goes right. Zachary Martin couldn't finish it.
Ireland set him up perfectly. That was a great chance for Georgia Southern, and Zachary Martin just whiffed. Watch this pass. Left foot from Ireland. Turns the defender all the way around, and he just mishits it. I mean, tries to go curl that to the inside of the right foot. And Martin knows that was a great opportunity.
That is frustrating if you're Zachary Martin, because Martin was the hero in the Eagles' last game against UAB, because Georgia Southern was down in the first half of that game, and then a goal be scored in the 75th minute by Martin, and that was a game where head coach Lee Squires said that we didn't play well, at least for the first 60 minutes of that game, and the first goal that was scored by the Blazers kind of woke us up, and that's where we found the response, we found the energy, and Martin found an opportunity to level the match.
The flip side is Georgia Southern had a great look.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want that. I mean, you want to put that in the back of the net. But the fact that Georgia Southern is still creating chances is the good sign, and that's the positive you draw from that.
Okiyoshi Going through the middle. On the near side to Aomesh. Aomesh trying to get through two defenders, taken away. Eagles a chance for another counter. Covered by the Herd. Aomesh couldn't keep it in bounds. Throw in from the sideline.
At times it feels Marshall's trying to get a little cute. And what I mean by that is sometimes they don't need to do so much passing. They're trying to evade all these defenders for Georgia Southern, when at times they can just advance it. And Georgia Southern, that has been the one area where they've looked really good, is the aggression on ball and long passes. Kevin Pierre gave a little shove.
You can see that Brian Amaro going down after. He got his head on it. He was slow to get up. Seems like we are digging deeper into this match. What Coach Chris Grassi describes it in boxing terms as Floyd Mayweather. Got to think we're in the 7th or 8th round at this point with the Herd taking another punch. Looking for more. Long pass to Aomesh. No foul. Also onside. Aomesh now fouled. And it looks like there was a handball when Aomesh went down. Possession Eagles.
Prieto not really known as much of a defender, but he's feisty. I mean, he will make you work. Very quick on his feet. Not afraid to play physical at all. Making Aomesh uncomfortable.
Prieto, the senior from Dalton, Georgia, one of the few seniors to lead this Georgia Southern side on the pitch. Almost a takeaway by Georgia Southern, and it'll be possession Eagles. Theo Godar unhappy with the call.
I'm Lee Squires right now. I'm telling my team, stay the course. You're going to get your chances. If Marshall's going to continue to play through their back line, I think Georgia Southern's going to get at least one great opportunity if they're pressing at the right times.
Aomesh trying to find Bell. Bell at the edge of the 18, now working his way in. Tried the nutmeg. One of the Eagle defenders. Did not work out. Deflected and recovered by the Herd. And they'll reset back to their goalkeeper in Perota.
Danjan was almost on the wrong side of a highlight. He got Meg, but I really like Danjan. A traditional center back. He's not flashy, but that's a good thing. I mean that as a compliment. He is very sturdy, and he's going to make the right play.
Martin couldn't keep that one in front of him inside the box. And going back to Alistair Danjan, David, he is one of the players that knows exactly what Coach Squires wants, transferring to the Eagles from Lander, where Coach Squires spent the previous couple of years, won 100 matches and a couple of regular season and conference tournament championships in the Peach Belt. Now on the Division I level. Off of Prieto, and it will be possession Herd. It's not often when you have the number 1 team in the nation come into town, and Leanna Gay has more on the atmosphere inside Eagle Field.
Danny, as you mentioned earlier, today marks the 3rd year that the Eagles will host a top 25 team in front of their fans here at Eagle Field, and the fans are excited to be a part of this matchup. Although the Eagles are down 1, the fans are still rooting them on and supporting them in the stands and making their presence known tonight at Eagle Field.
Thanks, Lee. A foul call, possession Eagles. I mean, especially the atmosphere and the hype grew once the Eagles drew number 2 West Virginia, David.
Lee Squires has put this soccer team on the map, at least in Statesboro, because it was a rough season, to say the least, a year ago. A young team going through growing pains, but Georgia Southern, just being blunt, did not have success. But now Coach Squires comes in, as you see, a player down on the ground. That's Prieto. He's just boxing out a Thundering Herd player.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Right knee came down from Guga Vega. And he's going to need a minute.
Prieto tough shot to take.
I mean, look again at the right knee right there.
Yeah. It's falling down. Prieto was already on the ground. And that's when the contact happened. But going back to what Lee Squires is doing, and you talk about atmosphere and people showing up for this Georgia Southern soccer program, a young team. And, we could talk about it all day long. It was a rough season for Georgia Southern. It was what it was. But Lee Squires has rejuvenated Georgia Southern soccer, Georgia Southern men's soccer in particular. And there's an excitement. And I think it starts, and I don't even think, it does start in the locker room with these guys believing, with these guys understanding, buying into the process. And that's what they've done. You don't go and face the number 2 team in the country after only winning a one game last season without understanding and feeling confident. I mean, that's just how it is.
So Prieto was helped up. The Eagles assistant athletic trainer Brian Mazeski giving a thumbs up, saying Prieto is okay, but it seems like Coach Squires will have reserve come in for Prieto. It'll be possession Eagles and a free kick. So Mauro Gutierrez Solis checking in.
Prieto, leader in that attack for Georgia Southern. Gutierrez Solis, there's not much of a drop-off. Gutierrez Solis had a really good freshman year.
And get this, for Marshall, Adame Omesh coming out of the game. He'll be subbed off. Free kick taken by Sandin inside the box, still headed around. Ireland can't get to it. Another shot gets pinned between the Marshall back line, and now the Herd clear it. They're looking for a quick counterattack, but a great job at the end by the Eagles to slice in the ball out of play.
Toby Neville had a chance in the box for Georgia Southern.
Good job there by Ty Wilson.
Yeah.
Being able to recognize the counterattack that was about to come on by the Thundering Herd. As Coach Grassi looks on, 7th season with the program, a man down for the Herd. And that'll be Brian Amaro. Amaro, true freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So after that clearance, Amaro may have taken a hard shot. I mean, David, we're already seeing how physical this second half has been, and we're just 15 minutes in.
This second half, it looks a lot different than the first half. It felt fairly clean to start this game, but now, especially with fatigue starting to go down from both sides, that's just the nature of the game, especially as competitive as Sunbelt games get. I mean, you're going to see players get those cramps, and it's going to get chippy.
The second half is really a battle of mental toughness when you talk about players on heavy legs. And it's all about who can come in and bring those fresh legs and be able to keep the momentum at a high pace. You see the foul comparison, Marshall with 8, the Eagles with 6. Amaro, one of the new additions to the back line. I mean, that tells you that, it just takes a matter of time just to build that back line up and that communication with a new goalkeeper and Gabriel Perota as well.
Patience is a virtue, and sometimes it's hard to take that, and for both sides, it takes time.
So play resumes. It will be possession, Herd on the throw in. The Herd resetting to their back line.
Look at this. He is taunting Jack Ireland. He was literally waving his finger saying, come on.
I don't even know what to call that. I mean, yes, he's baiting it, but it's like it's like a matador throwing the flag up in front of a bull, saying, come on, and then getting it away from him.
It's Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa.
Deep kick sent by Martinez. 3/4 down the field. Matthew Bell. Takayoshi. Now on the near side for Rai Pinto. Pinto trying to slide it up for Marco Silva. He'll be scooped up by Martinez. You're seeing some aggressive looks from Georgia Southern. They've taken 2 shots here in the second half, none on target, but you're seeing a more aggressive start to the half compared with the first half, David.
We have. The one thing I want to see from Georgia Southern is somebody step up on the wing. I mean, right now, is it going to be Ty Wilson? Maybe Alex Smith coming from the back line? But somebody has got to bring some energy out wide because Marshall has shut it down. The boundaries on the pitch have been owned by the Thundering Herd. That's an area where the Eagles have to gain some ground.
Other substitution, we'll see the first of Jonathan Mindegaard in this match. True freshman from Denmark. So we'll see how fresh legs will change the momentum for the Eagles. They're going to throw it in the attacking third. Can they find the equalizer? Inside the box, Mindegaard didn't see it. The Herd now clear. All the way back. Alistair Danjin now back to Martinez.
If Mindegaard was ready for that, he had an open lane to the net.
Wilson lost it.
Good tackle.
Fight for possession, recovered by the Eagles. Kevin Pierre, near side to Kean Dean. Danjin got hit as he sent it down the pitch. No foul. AJ Pama can't get there. Stolen away by Matthew Bell.
Rare pressing from Marshall. We really haven't seen that much at all in this game. It's one of the first times you're seeing those forwards and the midfield come up and apply some heat.
It is the first time that Marshall has given up a goal since their Sun Belt Conference opener at James Madison with a 3-1 win. But overall, that goal was also the 4th goal given up all season long. Sparota slides to the middle. Press here from the Eagles. Ireland and Mindegaard now working up front, near side the Herd go. Deep ball sent down. No handball called. Play on. Silva on the cross. Just missing. Joao Roberto. Sends it up here to Okiyoshi. Marshall wanted the handball. They would not get it, but still looking to strike here in the attacking third. In the box, the Eagles looking to clear. Smith. Ooh, took a hard shot.
Well, Danny, I'm surprised. Watch this. Clearly hits the hand of Dean. That's not even a question. Marshall has a strong case to make for that one. Rai Pinto shot his hand up as soon as he saw it.
More like an open and shut case if the officials would have saw that. But nonetheless, the Eagles still unable to level this match. Fight for possession. Dean and Danjin can't get it away. Here's Guga Vega looking on the near side. Bell in the box across. Martinez got a save. Cleared away by the Eagles. Marshall still trying to work their way inside. Back inside the box, deflected off of Danjin, and Martinez won't get there in time, out of bounds. Corner kick Herd.
Matthew Bell is getting the ball a lot more. Really good cross. Martinez steps up first. Luckily, no Marshall player there for the rebound.
So rather that was Roberto on the cross in, and Pablo Simon, was close. Simon already a goal on the night, making it 2-1 in the opening minutes of the half. High corner kick, headed, still in play, foul, possession Eagles.
Smith got shoved in the back, right in the middle of all that action.
A difference of play here in the second half was one of the biggest things that stood out, David.
Marshall has been more aggressive than I expected in this second half. I thought they would continue with the slower approach, but I think Georgia Southern, on the other hand, has played fairly well. The problem really has been they haven't been able to finish the chances they've gotten in the second half.
Chance here for the Eagles. Can Wilson get there in the box? Good defense from the back line, and Theo Godard. In the guard, pressing. Out of bounds. Still in play, rather. Eagles have a chance in the attacking third. Out to Dean. Danjan. Advances to Wilson. Wilson on the outside. Working inside the box now. Turn to Pierre. Headed out. Smith. Goes to the back line. A.J. Pama. Even further back to Martinez. So quick reset for the Eagles. Now a long ball sent to Smith. Can he keep it in bounds? Yes. Smith towards the end line. Sends it back up. Eagles in the attacking third. Wilson, the cross. Gutierrez Solis can't get his head on it. Out of bounds. Last touch by Pinto. Should be a corner kick for the Eagles.
Good build up. I really like that from Georgia Southern. Building the ball up through the wing. Ty Wilson and Alex Smith creating. And now you get a corner kick. Something Georgia Southern hasn't seen throughout this game much at all. I was looking for Gutierrez Solis inside the 6. Good defense by Pinto.
Eagles bringing in some more firepower. Manuel Prieto back in. He'll take the corner kick for the Eagles. This is just the second corner for Georgia Southern tonight. The Herd have had 9. Prieto sends it in, punched out. Still a chance, and over the crossbar. And it looks like a foul was called as well. A player down for the Herd.
I believe it was after Smith took that shot.
That's Pinto that went down, limping.
Well, keep an eye on Pinto, number 31. He steps up, and he steps right into Smith. And then immediately holds that shin.
The corner kick for the Eagles. Bell, can he clear it? Gutierrez Solis fighting for possession. Danjan can't get there. The Herd have the ball. Rotating over to Pablo Simon. Counterattack begins. On the outside, Marco Silva. Advancing to Adam Aomesh. Aomesh tried to go back to Silva. That's your 1-2 punch right there. Silva, 7 goals on the year. Aomesh with his 5th goal back in the first half off a PK.
None of that buildup happens without a really good job of Matthew Bell in their own defending third, evading defenders, somehow switching sides of the field. He's so quick on his feet.
On the throw in, inside the 18 and out of bounds. Last touch by Simon will be a goal kick for Martinez. This has been quite the stretch for Georgia Southern. We saw how they've gone through the meat grinder against number 2 West Virginia, UAB, now number 1 Marshall tonight. in their next matchup at UCF, who last week was ranked number 3 in the nation. With a loss to Marshall, that could change when the new top 25 comes out. And it will be possession Herd.
With UCF only losing by 1 goal in a really gritty match. I mean, it wasn't like Marshall dominated. It was even. And so I don't see them dropping too much, if at all.
It was a 1-0 victory at home for the Herd back in Huntington, West Virginia. The next match for the Herd will be back at home against Georgia State. Pass by Thomas Duggan. A long ball sent through for the Herd in the attacking third. The cross, Martinez there on the save. Took a blow as well there by Simon.
Good sportsmanship. Both players, little handshake. There's a respect. These are two battling teams.
I think that's the big thing for Georgia Southern this year, trying to earn everyone's respect in the Sun Belt Conference after the season they had in 2022. I mean, the 3 losses that the Eagles had have been 1-goal games. So far, the Eagles are undefeated. Steadily undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play, just with 2 draws so far. Unbeaten, I should say.
I want to see who's going to step up and make a play for the Eagles. Under 20 to go. Where's that going to be? And who is it going to be?
Fight for possession. It'll go to the Herd. Taimu Okiyoshi sends us to the back. On the near far side, excuse me. Oh, good challenge.
Great step.
Georgia Southern regaining possession. Kevin Pierre across center circle. Mindegaard won't get there in time. The Herd will reset to Perota. A lot of open space. Intercepted by the Eagles. Pierre, but it goes back to Marshall. Starting to see a press here from the Eagles.
It's a timely pressure. They're waiting for those longer passes and those longer touches to bring players forward.
Marshall with a 2-1 lead. They're going back to how they started this match, being patient from the back. It's not particularly the Herd parking the bus, but there's just no need to go out and attack when you have the 1-goal lead right now.
And also, whenever you're moving the ball so well, and whenever Georgia Southern is allowing you to keep it in the back.
Through the middle of Bell. Bell across midfield. Good defense from Georgia Southern. It's back to Martinez. He'll sail it away. Long ball on the far side. And it will be possession Herd.
Sure, okay with that. You flip sides of the field. Now is when I expect Georgia Southern to bring some pressure. You pin Marshall back near their own goal. That's where they got their only goal scored of this match. Was on that far side. You stole the ball away just outside the 18, and then it created some offense.
That 1 goal, the only shot on goal for the Eagles as well tonight. 3 shots total, but compared to the Herd, now we have a pause of play, and it looks like we're going to have a yellow card given to the Herd. Theo Godar, man, it's just had something going on with the official.
I don't know if it was something Godard said or if maybe he held it too long.
Nonetheless, good throw in by Marshall puts him in open space. Substitution for the Eagles, Zachary Martin in for Jack Ireland. The yellow card given to Godard for unsporting conduct, excuse me. On the near side, Pinto sliding towards the middle. Going deep on the far near side for Marco Silva. Silva from the wing. Good footwork. Send it up to Sterngard. Okiyoshi. So back to Duggan. Near side. Silva. Service in the box is long. Out of bounds. Goal kick for Eagles. So for the Herd, following this matchup, they'll return home for Georgia State and Coastal Carolina. I'm excited to see if the Herd and West Virginia can stay at number 1 and number 2 for that matchup on October 18th.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And it'd be really cool to see the 1 versus number 2. Marcus Caldiera lighting the Sun Belt up right now, leading the Mountaineers. A lot of different stat categories. You have 2 studs on both sides with Matthew Bell and Caldiera.
Covered by the Eagles. Gutierrez Solis. Seeing it outside. Will that ball stay in bounds? No, it'll roll out.
You have the numbers advantage. Gutierrez Solis has to put that ball in a better spot. You have to run on the wing.
Inside the final 15 minutes, what needs to happen if you're Georgia Southern?
You can't stand around too much longer like this. They're going to have to start to step forward and make Marshall uncomfortable. Marshall's going to continue to bleed the clock as long as Georgia Southern allows it.
Good passes here. Now on the move. And just off on the pass. It's a close setup there by Augustine Usim. Georgia Southern has to go back on the road. They had a 4-match homestand back in the middle of September, but now the majority of their matches are going to be on the road. They have just 2 home games left against South Carolina and Kentucky. Herd on the move. Taken away by the Eagles. Foul. Rather offside. Georgia Southern, look at that. 3 straight road matchups. UCF on Saturday. Call it to Charleston will be a good non-conference test to get them back prepared for Sun Belt play against Georgia State, their in-state rival. But that's when the next home game is. South Carolina, October 18th. And then after that, the home finale and senior night on Halloween against Kentucky.
A lot of fun. I mean, Georgia Southern, you got to travel to Florida, then South Carolina, then back to Georgia, and all over the place. That's the other thing about this conference is it can be tough on the road. It is not an easy travel by any means because you're going across states a lot.
It's called the Fun Belt for a reason. And Marshall trying to add one more goal here inside the box. And we're going to have another penalty. Right on the far side edge. And Marshall has a chance to make it 3-1.
Watch this. Just a battle for the ball. And Smith clearly got the leg of Amach. I mean, you just have to be smarter in the box, understanding they're going to get that call every time, especially with the game in the dire moments, approaching 10 minutes left.
It was Aomesh who took the PK in the first half to level it at 1. It would be a different player taking the shot this time. It's going to be Morris Duggan, center back. No goals on the year for Duggan. Can he make this his first? Second PK for the Herd tonight. Duggan versus Martinez. Duggan fires and scores. In the back left corner, he makes it 3-1, Thundering Herd.
Morris Duggan has Georgia Southern's number because last year, as a junior, his only goal of the season was against, guess who? the Eagles. And so he finds himself in the back of the net yet again. Of course, this was all set up with the foul on Alex Smith on Amash.
Morris Duggan, his first goal this season against the Eagles. If under 12 minutes to play, this may have sealed the deal for the Herd. 3-1 lead, and what has been, it just seemed like a more offensive Herd team against an Eagles defense that have been managed to hold things up in their last 4 games with 4 straight ties. But when number 1 comes in, the Eagles did bring the energy. Their only shot in the first half was a goal. And now Marshall looking for more. Open space here for Marco Silva, crossing the box, sent out a play by Dengen. Corner kick coming up for the Herd. That'll be their 10th tonight.
When you look back at this game, if the score stays the same as it is, Lee Squires is going to go back to 2 pivotal moments. The first penalty kick that Georgia Southern allowed, and then this one. I mean, those are 2 mistakes by the Eagles going into this game they knew they could not make. And they knew they're going to have to play almost perfect soccer when it comes to avoiding the fouls.
Short corner, and last touch by the Herd. Goal kick from Martinez. It looks like the Herd in the next 11 minutes will remain undefeated. Orleana Gay has more on the Herd's success this season.
The Thundering Herd is the last team in the country that currently carries a perfect win percentage. They lead the country in goal difference with 23. They rank second in goals with 27. They have 82 points, a scoring offense of 3 goals per game, and 25 assists. Coach Grassi mentioned that they're a very good group. And Danny, they work hard to keep up their standards. Just this weekend, they practiced at the Armstrong campus to get back to their good performance.
Thanks, Lee. And this matchup initially was set for a Saturday, but moved from Saturday to Sunday night. And with that, Coach Grassi was able to get in a day early as that ball gets sent out of play. But the Herd got to spend time in practice at the Armstrong campus of Georgia Southern, got to enjoy some time in Savannah, and it really just helped get this team prepared for this matchup tonight.
Getting to stay in Savannah for an extra day is not a bad thing at all. That's a beautiful city.
Walk around River Street.
Oh, I mean, amazing. It's very underrated, if you ask me.
Got to be careful for those brick stairs. Not brick, but they're rock.
Yeah.
They're steep, though.
Yeah.
Hang around there St. Patrick's Day weekend. You'll see some exciting stuff.
Oh, man. It goes crazy.
Inside the final 10 minutes. Here's the press from Georgia Southern. Okiyoshi, deep ball, intercepted by Wilson, sent back. And the thing for Marshall, trying to get back on top of the mountain in college soccer. Won the national championship in 2020. They want to get back there again and want to start to the season it's been for the Herd.
The culture is set for Marshall, specifically within soccer. I mean, you know, we talked earlier with the head coach, and he's wearing a shirt that says Marshall is a soccer school. They have completely bought in to the idea that not only do they play soccer and happen to play soccer at Marshall, but they're really good at it.
In both sides, Georgia Southern and Marshall have just elevated their fall sports by quite a margin. I mean, Marshall,
very true.
Their football team is really good as well, along with men's soccer being number 1 in the country. Georgia Southern football, year 2 with Eagles head coach Clay Helton. I mean, a big turnaround, selling out Paulson Stadium, setting a new attendance record in that conference opener against Coastal Carolina, and now Lee Squires here for the Eagles. Even though their record is not in the positives, 1-3-5, and looking to be 1-4-5 in the next 8 minutes and change, but a lot of strong matches for this Eagles side. And Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, you go back to football, Coach Helton, it took them about a year and a half to rebuild the fan base. Went 6-7 overall last season, 4-1 right now. Eagles men's soccer, 1-14-1 last season. Still a lot more to play here this year.
It takes time, but you hear that all the time. How long did it take to build Rome is the true question we should be asking ourselves.
You know what? I'm going to look that up right now because you always hear, Rome wasn't built in a day.
It's a fair question. I mean,
here's a free kick, and it goes left out of bounds.
I know there's the...
Okay, this is a very unique answer. It took 1,229 years to build Rome.
That is crazy.
There's a corner kick for the Eagles. Prieto going to set this one up. 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Almost cleared away by the Herd. Now outside the box. Smith won't get there in time, but it will stay possession Eagles.
I guess this is why there was a TikTok trend going around, and I don't even have TikTok, but I heard about it, where these girls would be asking guys how often they think about the Roman Empire, because apparently it's a normal thing for guys to think about that. I don't get it, but
header just goes left. Still inside the final third for the Eagles. Prieto gets double teamed in the corner. Nowhere to go. And it's going to be possession Herd. Here's the thing, David. When I hear the question, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? My response actually is, which one? Because there is an empire in WWE with Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, and his empire over the last 3 years as world champion. I think about that quite a lot. I don't know about you, but I acknowledge my tribal chief.
I think it's crazy to think about. I mean, Rome really – I don't know. What am I talking about right now? We're talking about a soccer match. I'm not going to go into a spiel about the Roman Empire.
Well, the Herd in the attacking third, can they add one more goal here in the second half? Advancing up near the end line, cross deflected by Prieto.
Good recovery by Prieto to save that one. Marshall not letting up, staying on the attacking side.
Prieto's going to need a well-earned ice bath after this match.
Yes, absolutely. He does it all. I've been really impressed with his defense, particularly today. Again, he's known more as an attack-minded player. That's, what they use him as tactically. But I thought his hustle and his performance on the defensive end was very well.
It's a corner kick for Marshall. Taken by Alexander Sterngard. Inside 5 minutes, off the head, over the crossbar. And really, David, it all comes down for Georgia Southern. Those ticky-tack fouls in the box, 2 penalty kicks was really the difference maker in this game tonight.
Yeah, and I don't want to chalk it up to that and make it seem like if somehow those fouls didn't happen, this game would be tied. It very well could be, but to be honest and be fair, the truth is, especially on the last penalty kick, Georgia Southern was beat in the box, and there was a lot of things that were going on. You have to give credit to Marshall because, yes, while obviously Georgia Southern made mistakes in the box and very well could have, ignored those fouls, Marshall forced them into those positions, and they were moving up the pitch really well. And so it's kind of a balancing act between the two sides of, okay, well, Marshall did a really good job of building up, and then Georgia Southern happened to have, some mistakes inside the box after that.
You got to give credit to the Eagles as you look at some of these upcoming matches for other Sun Belt teams on Tuesday. Even though Marshall put a lot of pressure out attacking-wise in the first half, the Eagles threw the first punch in scoring the first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It set the tone. Georgia Southern played really well to start, and they made the most of their opportunities. But Marshall, we said it this entire game. They're going to be patient. They're not going to kill you with this super high-octane, fast offense, but instead it's that build-up to where just when you think they're going to continue to be okay with passing in the back line, a player like Matthew Bell makes a great play in the midfield.
Right.
Or, Pablo Simon makes a beautiful run on the wing.
Taken away by the Herd. Sent up to Sordo. Now on the far side. Intercepted by Danjan. And in times like this, I think of what happened over the weekend with the post-game quotes that were said by Colorado head coach Deion Sanders. You better beat me now. And, the Eagles team's going to take some lumps. But there have been some positive moments in a couple of these matches this season when you go back to the draw against West Virginia. These matches this year for Georgia Southern against challenging opponents like Marshall, like West Virginia, like UCF coming up this upcoming Saturday, is just going to make them battle-tested and experienced when they go into next season as well, or even better, going deeper into this season as October is the final month of the regular season before tournament time.
100%. This team is building something. They are tough. And while they're down 2 goals, this game has been a lot closer. You see 3-1, and you can kind of think, especially with the shot differential, that Marshall just completely owned it.
Good stop there by Key and Dean. Martinez sends it out of bounds.
But this game has been a lot closer than what the score and the stats are going to tell you. I genuinely believe that. So kudos.
Hard-fought effort from the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, kudos to both sides. This is what Sunbelt soccer is about.
And especially for Marshall, the last 2 games were 1-0 victories. So being able to score multiple goals in this game, Coach Grassley said it. Even though they won the last 2 games, he didn't feel like his team play to the standard that they should be at this season. So this has been a match tonight for the Herd where they're able to get back on track as well. Georgia Southern, they get one more opportunity. That's going to be a handball at hit the elbow, rather, of Zachary Martin.
And going off what you said, when it comes to adversity, for a team like Marshall, when everything is sunshines and rainbows, you're not really getting the true look of how your team's going to be throughout the season. It's when you're playing games like a physical Georgia Southern who's gritty and they're to continue to fight even though they might be outmatched at times. These are the games that make you and build you going in deeper into the regular season and obviously the postseason when it counts.
Inside the final minute, another shot deflected by the Herd. Eagles trying to get that ball out of harm's way. They do, but it sails deep and out of bounds. So Marshall, 30 seconds from remaining undefeated this season. Georgia Southern will lose their first official match in Sun Belt Conference play. They'll drop to 0, 1, and 2, but 1, 4, and 5 in the regular season overall. The Herd get one more shot inside the box, crossing, and sent out by Danjan deep to midfield, and that's going to do it. Number 1 Marshall comes into the Borough and will leave with a 3-1 victory